Okay, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and talk.
What?
So okay, so that was my mom talking in the background. Don't know if you heard it or not. So I went ahead, put the wax on, let it stay on my nose for a bit. Already we have our little bruise we're gonna put the blood in. Usually I try to make my bruise kind of look like a scab that's been picked. In my first tutorial of doing it, I actually had like little pricks up here where I can put the blood in to just make it seem like I was like scratching it, maybe it bleed from like, you know, picking at it like a scab. So with the wax, I already just try to go ahead and try to find like my little bruise where I'm going to put it. So as you can see, it's right there. We're going to put our blend in it, but first of all, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put our foundation on top of our wax. Because I wanted to look more like my skin tone, and I used 2 different foundations to get that skin tone just right. Okay, so very lightly I'm going to go in my foundation and just try to get a little bit on here. Now I would mix the two, but I don't want to. So this is how much foundation I'm going to use on my nose. And just try to be careful with the wax. And just lightly try to like tap it on. And you can definitely see the color difference. So see how it's like blending in now, and you can still see our bruise. So it's perfect. And already it's starting to look like oh, you can't really see it, but it's starting to look like old skin now that's been picked over, or at least been roughing up a bit. And so with my sponge, I'm actually going to try to flatten out my bruise. With the sponge, just like spread it out down some more. Okay. Okay, so we have our first foundation on. As you can see, it's blended in, and you can still see the little bruise right there. So that's good. And now I'm going to go in with my second foundation. So okay. So there we have my nose completely blended to my skin tone. You can still see right there where the little blood is going to go into. So now I'm going to add the bruises. The first colors we're going to go in with is red, and I believe this might be like a purplish black. In the book I think it said it was purple, but it looks like it's black to me. But we're going to go ahead and bruise our nose, and then possibly bruise like our eye lines as well to show the spreading. Let's try using a sponge. I used a pencil little brush for my last bruises, but let's try using a sponge. Just see how that goes. Turn this a bit to get more of my bruise. blend purple. Okay. So now we have, I'm going to actually try to grab my phone real quick so you can see it with the light. Okay, never mind on the light. But here we go. You can see clearly the bruise, how it's going. So now, what should we do next? Should I just go ahead and do the lines underneath my eyes or try to spread it? We'll see. As you can see, I put the red underneath my bag eyes and started blending out by going down and making sure I come up to my bruise a little bit and just to show the effect by just blending down from there. And then I'm going to add my purple. Let's see about my sponge. Okay, so this is the result of both sides with bruises on my face. Now we're going to go ahead and use our blood. Last time I used like a brush to put my blood on. So we're just gonna do a small bit of blood just to be safe. Go in. Okay. See our blood. I'm just gonna try to like dab it. So. of blood right there. You can't see that there's some wax coming up, so I'm kind of glad about that because I want to add like a little bit more blood. Because I said I want to make it more like it's like a scab that I've been picking at. So I'm just gonna go in right here. Okay. So right here, you can't really see the wax coming up, but you can definitely see where I put the blood to show where the skin will be picked at, and especially if there's a scab wound. And we still have our blood right there, and that is our bruised face.